Hello everybody, this is Matthew Amber McLean, the Shamanic Happiness Coach, here for days 62, 63, 64, and today 65 for the 90-day happiness challenge. I'm enjoying cacao today. I'm doing a little bit of recovery. Previous videos you saw me talk about the Shamanic Manifestation Workshop and that Reiki workshop, and those just happened on days 62, 3, 4. So thank you for allowing me to facilitate those and focus on those. And I did set this up so that you could just continue your journey. And where we are on our journey currently is continuing with elevating the internals. So we're modifying our internal structures because what we think about, we bring about. What our thoughts do, where our thoughts go, our emotions follow. And where our emotions follow, generally our thoughts go. When we engage in mindful meditations and whatnot, we're actually able to interrupt that loop and start to make a little bit of change on the subtle, slow level. Now, if we want to increase that change and make it a little bit more profound, it's very powerful to understand the energy centers of the body. And we've come so far, with the scientific advancements of the day, that we can actually now understand how our energy centers actually do affect our body, and when we have a certain dysregulation occur, we can see that dysregulation causes other cascading effects around these types of the items that are associated with those energy centers. My brain is still catching up from the weekend. Talking for 3 days straight for 8 hours a day almost is quite a feat. So, cacao is good, yummy, yummy. So, for us to understand this, we might look at, like, if we have a certain dysregulation or a challenge coming up, and it seems like it's a mountain instead of a molehill, like just a little boop, and it's just huge. A lot of times it's just our internal perspective, and so we can examine that and go, okay, so if I've got an issue, let's just say with some addictions, and this could just be addicted to social media, to a game, to addiction to distractions, kind of a thing. So I'm using a lot of avoidance behaviors. That actually shows up in certain parts of our energy centers. In that particular, we're going to see it in several, depending on what your avoidance would be. Let's say lust. Let's just say you go from relationship to relationship because you really feed off of that elevated emotion, that euphoria that you get. And this may be a subconscious pattern, but maybe it shows up that your relationships, your intimate relationships, or maybe your friendship relationships, only last for like a month or maybe 2 months or something like that. They don't really last a long time. Maybe 3, 4. That could still be considered quick, but also we have to respect that everybody is an individual, and people come into our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. So aside from those things, whether we need to have a reason, we're building something in our life, we might enter into a relationship that accomplishes that, or we just might need to enter into a relationship that lets us know that we are valid, we can revitalize who we are, and it feels good. When we're doing the destructive part that I'm talking about, you can see that your sacral area down here in your root, connected to these spaces, is going to have a little bit of dis-ease. Oops, my little picture came off. Hold on just a second. Make sure that we stay up here. Make sure I get my notes all set. I'll put another piece of tape on those guys. I'm not fancy enough to have a teleprompter yet, so I just tape this to my light. Okay, so if we were experiencing something like that, we might want to also, engage in maybe therapy to help kind of loosen that up, illuminate what's going on in our psyche, and then we can explore it on the mental and emotional level. But also on the spiritual level or the unseen level, the subconscious level as well, we can take effect and do certain meditations, just like the ones we're practicing, that I've assigned us to practice from day 60 to 61 and then continuing. And so if that's the case, if you have this kind of dysregulation. It could be anything, okay? You can look up energy centers and kind of see what would correlate to having a dysfunctional energy center or one that's got some blockage in there, and you could see the correlation. And then you could do this meditation around that energy center. So for days 61, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we're going to do a couple more, I asked you to go ahead and focus on one of your chakras, so one of your energy centers, and do a loving kindness based meditation, so to speak, around that center. And just, I walked you through one of them. I'm going to kind of do a quick one here today for you, but I would like you to just focus on that. Just focus on the energy center and bring that elevated emotional state to that space. And the reason why is because where our awareness goes, energy flows. And so when we're tapping into higher frequencies, that's a higher frequency of energy. When we tap into a higher frequency of energy, it engages the self-healing qualities of the body. And it allows us to detangle whatever dis-ease we have created, and allows us to deal with that and modify and give us a new experience going forward. Perhaps it just gives us the experience or the courage, of writing a new experience, right? Because the more times that we think that reality stays the same, it will. But if we can have the courage to understand that we can modify our reality, and especially when we use elevated emotions to increase our internal state, then we change. This is why compassionate mindful meditation, when it first started to be studied back in the 70s, was so profound, because we were engaging in raising the vibration of the body through love and kindness. And that induces into the body, and so you become somebody who is full of compassion, full of love, full of a zest for life, full of the ability to hold space for change. And we notice that when we do those kinds of things, these loving kindness meditations, we actually create a lot more resilience within our body to handle change in the outside world. So just doing this type of a meditation, and this is going to be a blessings of our energy center meditation, just on one chakra, you can induce significant change from the energetic level that influences your emotions and your mind, okay, your emotions and your thoughts. And so when those two things are being more supportive of one another, then our outside reality shifts and it totally changes. So let's go ahead and engage in that. If you would like, you can always just find a meditation on your own. That's totally fine. Just a blessings of our energy center meditation or a loving kindness meditation. And during that, what we would do is just focus our awareness around whatever energy center we need that increased frequency and love and healing to take place in. So you can find your own, or you can go ahead and continue on for the next about 10 minutes or so with me. So, and to share also, make sure you share this video and label it, whatever day you decided to do on. You could also just do all of your days up to this point and share them into one, talking about how your meditation affected each of your energy centers and what it has done for your day. What came up for you, because sometimes when we have healing come out from inside of us, it'll transition on the outside world, and an event might come up to ask you to rewrite that experience. And so maybe you would have a traumatic, or you normally would have a dysregulated experience around one thing, and if that thing comes up and you get to rewrite your experience, you get to choose how you feel about it, that has huge impacts, and it will actually compound the healing qualities and the events of what happens on the inside. So it's just another reality change. So for this, at this point, we'll be starting the meditation in just like 30 seconds, but you can feel free to end watching the video here or stay with us. Just make sure you go ahead and share share this video for your share using the hashtag 90-Day Happiness Challenge and me, Matthew Embry McLean, Shamanic Happiness Coach. So thank you very much. One more thing of cacao. Yum, 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 yum. Okay. Get my trusty bowl. So, let's go ahead and just find ourselves in a meditative position. If you can't pretzel, don't pretzel. Just find yourself in a nice, comfortable position. You could be lying down, seated, whichever. Okay. And just begin to breathe through your nose. Come to eyes closed, reducing that visual stimulus so that the brain can use that energy that it would be using on visual stimulus to focus on the internal, to go have your awareness go within. So begin to go ahead and just breathe. Slowing your breath down. Feeling your breath as it comes in through the nose, coming down into the throat and filling your lungs, just like a jug of water would be filled from the bottom up. Your lungs are filled from the bottom up. And that requires a nice little physiologic response, okay? Purposeful breathing. Good. And now bring your awareness to how, as you breathe, your shoulders, your chest, your abdomen all move. They rise and fall. They oscillate in and out as you breathe. So bring all of your awareness to that. Feel what it's like there. And then go ahead and feel the tiny little subtle movements of clothing, jewelry, or hair that oscillate a little bit on your skin as you move and breathe. Breathing is a full body movement. And so even the tiny subtle movement of maybe your socks can be felt. And just feel. If your mind ever wanders, it's perfectly okay. We don't blame our thoughts for coming in, we honor them, and then we just return to the breath and the sensations of breath. And just feel. And let's go ahead and bring our awareness to whichever energy center calls to you. If it's your root chakra, just bring your awareness to your tailbone and that space right there, and just breathe for a little bit. Just focusing all of your attention, all of your awareness at that one location. Good. As your awareness begins to build in that space, what you're receiving is the frequency that it's emanating, okay? The frequency that that center is vibing at. And so once you've felt that frequency, just recognize it. And now bring your awareness and expand it to the space that's around that energy center. And we could think about a space that's encompassing perhaps 8 inches or 10 inches of that energy center. So if it's around our root, that could be all of our hips and maybe a little bit below our physical body and outward. Maybe it's around your heart, and then it would be encompassing your chest. Okay? Just the space around there, and feel. And so you can see all of that space within your mind's eye. Good. And now, when it feels right to you, let's go ahead and wish and bring blessings, and blessings of for the greatest and highest good of the healing or the integration, the wholeness of this energy center. And so we might want to bring an elevated emotion of appreciation or love, And we can generate those things by bringing into our awareness the association that generates that for us. So if it's gratitude, what do we have gratitude for? And then we feel that, and we bring our awareness to that center, wherever it is. And where your awareness goes, energy flows. And so as those emotions, those higher frequencies are generated within your mental frame, triggers your emotions, and as you move your awareness to that space, you're also moving that gratitude, that love, that appreciation, the happiness, the joy, whatever it would be, to that space. And just feel. If it helps, perhaps thinking of somebody such as your most beloved, playing and enjoying themselves, having a good time, and then also at the same time bringing into your awareness that energy center. And that will accomplish this. And just feel. Good. And now let's also bring a higher intent to this. So focusing on your energy center, if it feels right, you can have the wish that this energy center be free from the experience of suffering and all the causes of suffering, and then experience joy and all the causes of joy, and feel that with your full authenticity, to be free from suffering and the causes of suffering, and to experience joy and all the causes of joy. And really just continue to say that, if you must, a few times, and focus on that energy center. And in this space, it may also help to breathe from your heart. So imagine instead of breathing from your nose, you're actually breathing from the heart space. And just feel. And remain in this space for as long as it's comfortable for you. 4 or 5 minutes is plenty of time. Generally a little bit more, such as 10, is a little bit more beneficial. If you want to be a rock star, you could go 30 minutes, an hour in just this one space, and focusing on really what it is to be free from the experience of suffering and all the causes of suffering. And as you think of this, just allow your mind to unfold. Whatever comes up is exactly right. If you're a little too distracted or your mind wanders, just bring it back to the intention in the breath. And so focusing on that loving kindness, the wish to be free from suffering and all the causes of suffering, and to experience joy in all the causes of joy, continuing to focus on that energy center. And just feel. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video and allow you just to continue your journey. I'm going to say namaste. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can find me on social media or on my website. And without further ado, I say namaste and have blessings throughout your day. Thank you very much. I will see you tomorrow.